What's going on, Feed the Beasters? JD here with the next episode of JD Plays Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved. Expert mode on the Acrid server. And if you didn't notice, I moved everything. Well, almost everything. We still got some tables to move. We are transitioning into the lower base, and it's looking better, but it's still not good. We definitely have some work to do. Had to make some modifications here to run the main power line through. And here's what we got right now. So there's machines running and there's wires everywhere and it's craziness. It also feels a little cramped, especially because of all the wires and how I'm having to set up the machines to facilitate the wiring. We're going to need to redo this. And that's what today's episode is going to be all about. So if you take a look at as usual, on the right hand side of your screen for our to-do list, we're going to make some new stuff. We got some Redstone Energy Fluxduct, some Resonant Fluxduct, some Item Conduit, some Cyclic Assemblers, Schematics, and painting machines. That's what we want to get done today. And we'll probably go ahead and take some of that Fluxduct the next step and make some Energy Conduit out of it. So, let's start off at the kind of the bottom of the list. And the first thing I want to talk about is this Cyclic Assembler. And that's this right here. This is another thermal expansion machine. And Cyclic. It's a fairly simple recipe. It's your basic machine frame, a treasure chest, 2 tin gears, 2 copper gears, and a redstone reception cable. So very easy. And what this machine does is it takes any type of a recipe that you can make a schematic for, and it will automatically craft it for you. Where it becomes especially useful is crafting things that involve liquids. So right now, when we want to make things like Enderium or Signalum or Lumium, we have to use bucket, and the same thing for plastic sheets, we have to use buckets of liquid. So these schematics can store these recipes for us. And it will tell us what we need. We need 1 dust platinum, 1 bucket of ender, 1 dust silver, and 2 dust of tin. Now you make these schematics by putting the recipe you want to save to them right over here in this window with a blank schematic here, and then you save it. And it gives you this completed schematic, and if you hold shift it will show you what is saved to that schematic. So this is really awesome. I've also made some new tanks. These are reinforced portable tanks, so these ones also come from thermal expansion. Now you guys know I love the stuff in thermal expansion. I use the strong boxes. I've got one of the cache storage blocks right here. These are the cache. We use the satchels. The portable tanks are another piece of equipment from that line. You start off by taking 4 pieces of glass around a piece of copper. The next upgrade takes the tank and surrounds it with Invar, just like you do with the backpacks and the strong boxes. The next upgrade takes hardened glass or fused quartz, or I think you can use aluminum glass, but I wouldn't. And then the final takes, of course, Enderium, and you get these resonant portable tanks. Now these things are awesome because in a single block, that at max upgrade, they're going to hold 512 buckets worth of stuff. The ones that I have right now are sitting at the reinforced level, so they each hold 128 worth of stuff. And these greatly help reduce lag. They're nice and simple. They eject from any side. You can easily take a wrench and change the output, input. It's a very simple little block. Shift left click or right click and it will pick the item up with your wrench. And so we're going to take this right now, and we've got a let's get that off. Well, there we go. So if you right click on a servo, it will take it off of the pipe. So if we set this lovely little tank down right here, and let's check something. Well, I have it on the wrong side. Anyways, we're going to put our servo on. We're going to activate our servo, and it's going to pull the rocket fuel out of this tank and put it into the buffer right here. And so if I were to put the schematic for plastic sheets, which is right here, it will actually start crafting some plastic sheets for me because I have raw plastic and I have compressed sawdust inside. So if I stick this here, it will very rapidly make these for me. I'm already out of compressed sawdust. Let's make some more compressed sawdust right quick. Bam. Okay, so if we toss this in here, and it's going to quickly just pile them up. It just chews through it really rapidly and gets it all in there for us. That is freaking awesome. So this is a great way to craft all those items that require buckets of liquid that, aren't so fun to craft other ways. And I'm just going to let all that drain back in because I don't want all of that in the machine. We're going to pick this bucket up, and now we can take it wherever we want and put it back down. So there's that. Now I use the same thing to make Enderium. I can use it to make Lumium, and I can use it to make Signalum. It's just a really nice machine, very useful for us. Lots of plastic sheets now. Awesome. Alright, so let's knock that off of the to-do list. I just wanted to briefly talk about those things right quick. So Cyclic Assembler and Schematics are gone. Now let's talk about some important stuff. Now in the past we've made some item ducts, and we've made some servos, and that's cool. We're going to make some more item duct right now. As you can see, I've got 64 of everything here. We're going to make 6 for every craft. We're going to do 64 crafts. Bam, that is done. We have a lot of item conduit now. We're going to need that stuff if we want to start being able to sort our inventory and move items around our base. So that's done. Let's get that out. I'm glad we've got that knocked out. It makes me feel better about myself. There's some other ducts that we want to talk about, and we're going to use all these ducts here in a little bit to do some conduit stuff. The other ducts that I want to talk about are energy ducts. And these guys are crazy looking. We need all kinds of flashy, glowy stuff. We need some Signalum nuggets. We know how to make Signalum. We've done that before. It's just copper, silver, and a little bit of redstone together. So 1 silver ingot, 3 copper ingots, and a bucket of redstone gets you 4 Signalum. Okay? The other items in this recipe were blitz powder and fluxed electrum blend. So those are a little bit new, and we're going to talk about those for just a minute. And then we'll also need some lumium glass, and we've looked at lumium before. So let's go back in here for just a second. And where was it? It was right here. So fluxed electrum blend is merely electrum, which silver and gold. You can make it lots of ways, make it however you want, with redstone poured over it inside of a flood transposer. So it's really easy to get this stuff. It's actually useful for a lot of stuff. You can make all kinds of tools out of it. Apparently you can use this in an innervation dynamo. You can do fun stuff. Yeah, you can use these blocks to make all kinds of stuff. There's the flux infused omni wrench, flux infused sword, battle wrench, all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, now blitz powder you get by you use to make the erothium, and we need the erothium. Okay, so to make erothium, we're going to need some saltpeter or niter, redstone, and sand. Let's go back to our flux duct, and that's what we want right here is erothium. So let's get some saltpeter or niter, which is what I have here. We're going to grab 2 stacks of it. Let's get some redstone. Bam. Toss that back, and let's get some sand, and we'll just craft all this stuff together right quick. Boop. Craft. Boom. And I think we have enough to do that again, right? Recipe. Boom. So I've got tons of this stuff now, which I can use for various things down the road. And I think that's everything we need. But so a question becomes, where do we get this stuff? Sand, obvious. Redstone, obvious. We've talked about saltpeter and niter before. Niter is very easy to get. We can have a great nut story, and we can break down sandstone and get niter in a pulverizer. And because our pulverizer has such a high chance of yielding secondary outputs, we can basically manufacture all the niter that we want. So that's easy. The blitz powder is a bit different. You get that from blitz rods, or you get it from killing blitzes. You can pulverize a blitz rod and get 4 of them, and you'll get some niter. But if you don't have access to blitzes, you're kind of up a creek, right? Not quite. You can pour redstone over sand and get blitz powder. Almost all of the little powders, blizz powder, basal's powder, can be manufactured in some form or fashion. Okay? So this is how we get blitz powder. Fluid transposer, pour redstone on sand, and there's our blitz powder. So at this point, we're ready to craft up some flux ducts. And we're going to come right over here, and we're going to do it in the same box where we've been doing most of our duct work. Okay? So let's just drop in 2 of these, 1 of these, 1 of these, and 1 of these. Let's clear the recipe out, and we will shift click this in. There we go. And let's pull it all out. And so we just did 32 crafts, and so we got 3 stacks of this stuff. Now right now this is empty. It doesn't do anything as an empty flux duct. If we want to do anything with this, we need to actually fill it with redstone. And that gives us Redstone Energy Fluxduct, which will transfer RF at 8,000 RF per tick. This is really good stuff. But you may have also noticed that we can use this in another recipe, and that is to craft Resonant Fluxduct. Resonant Fluxduct is amazing. You use this stuff after filling it, and it transfers 32,000 RF per tick. And so I want to definitely make some of this. So let's lock that recipe. And you probably noticed that I have the stuff for that already, right here. Some basalts powder and some enderium gears. We're going to put this back and put this back. Now this basalts powder is part of the step. We need to get petroleum dust. To get petroleum dust, we're going to need clay, obsidian, and redstone. I might be a little bit low on clay. Let's go look. I've got some. Okay. We'll grab this. Let's go check out that sludge boiler we had over here running last night. Oh, by the way, I had to replant my entire forest. Yeah, thanks a lot, Harvester. It went a little crazy. It chopped down everything from here all the way around in this visible radius. It was massive, the amount of wood it chopped down. I'm still sending it all through my sawmill. Oh, look! 24 blocks. Guess what? Every one of these blocks is 4 of these. So we can just set this down. That's 4, 8, 12, 16. We've already got 40. So there's 20. There's 24. That's all we should need. Let's grab our little handy shovel. Bam. 64. Looking good. Alright, let's head back. So that sludge boiler, really nice for clay production. You never have to go look for clay again. Just hop on down the stairs here. Oh, and I don't remember if I showed this or not, but I did finally upgrade my capacitor to a resonant. So this holds 20 million RF now. So I can charge things up. And to top that off, I've gone ahead with my main hammer and I've added a flux capacitor to it. So this thing's durability is now based off of flux rather than its actual durability. If you look at its actual durability, it's sitting at 46, almost broken. The reason I left it there is because right now it's getting its max stonebound bonus, which greatly ups its mining speed. It's now running at a mining speed of 15.02. And I can basically, as long as this is sitting in my inventory active, I can use this hammer and its durability never goes down. So it's a pretty neat little trick to make your tools basically infinite without making them infinite. Alright, we need some redstone. Let's grab some of that. And we'll grab 7 and 1, and that'll give us 64. So it was redstone and some obsidian dust. And we've got plenty of obsidian dust. By the way, if you notice, there are 2 types of obsidian dust. Or there's actually a few. But the one from Railcraft, which comes out of the rock crusher, right here, it was kind of, we weren't getting much of it. You can use the unifier to convert it into the thermal foundation obsidian dust. Just letting you know. Alright, let's combine this stuff up, and we're going to get back double the petroleum dust now. Boom. So we're going to stick this stuff right in here. So now we're ready to craft these other ducts. We're going to clear the recipe. We're going to put these in here. We're going to put this gear in the middle, and we'll need to make more of these gears. And then we'll need to take a few of our flux ducts and just run along the side. And that will give us 6 resonant flux ducts. Now we're only going to be able to do this recipe 5 times, so we're going to end up with 30 of them. But that's cool. That works. We're going to lock that recipe in place. So now we're ready to fill some of these things up with redstone. So we should have some redstone sitting in here. Yep, and some more in here, I hope. Nope, not in there yet. We don't. Alright, let's grab 10 of these. And that will just about fill it up if we put 10 of them in here. And this one's got all that it needs. We'll grab like this. Should do it. Alright, so let's fill up the resonant flux duct first. So we're going to just put this in here and it's going to start filling it up. And as it fills it up, it's going to pull whatever's over here into this. And now we are getting this Resonant Fluxduct, which is able, like I said, to remove 32,000 RF per tick. That's a lot of power we can move. We're not even close to generating that. We're generating less than 1,000 RF per tick right now. So one of these could move every ounce of power that our base is capable of producing and have room for 32 times that. Alright, now let's start filling up these redstones. And it doesn't matter, you can use these to craft already pre-filled ones of these. Now we're just waiting on this stuff. So we've got those two things knocked off our to-do list, so that's awesome. Let's go ahead and knock those down. So Resonant Fluxduct and Redstone Energy Fluxduct are both done. So now we're on to Item Conduits and the painting machine. And we want to make more than just Item Conduits. We also want to make some Energy Conduits. And that's kind of where these things are leading us to, is these Energy Conduits. But the cool thing is we can now replace every single wire in this place. Now if you look, I've got some hardened flux duct right here. And these are moving RF to these machines. But we can replace every wire in here now. We no longer need these wires. All of these do a better job of moving power around than the wires that come from Immersive Engineering. And that's something we've kind of been working towards. A lot of you guys have asked me, hey, do you use these Immersive Engineering wires throughout the entire game? No, I do not. But I do use them very, very heavily early game. And we're going to go ahead and let that redstone finish filling up these last few ducts. Should get one more. There we go. Alright, fancy schmancy stuff. So now we're ready to start talking about conduits. And there are a lot of really nice conduits. Now we've already been using some of this redstone conduit in the past. And it's very handy. I like it a lot. I like conduit in general a lot. And I'll explain why shortly. Energy conduit is made by taking duct and combining it with conduit binder and servos. There's also enhanced energy conduit, and there's Ender Energy Conduit. Okay, there's just the same. There is also fluid conduit, pressurized fluid conduit, Ender fluid conduit, and then there's Item Conduit. And Item Conduit is one of the big ones that we're really interested in. To make this, though, we need to be able to make this conduit binder. And to make conduit binder, we need stone dust with compressed sawdust and electrical steel. Okay, we can do that. So let's step over here. I think I've got all the materials for that sitting right in here. So if we take this is stone dust, and we take some compressed sawdust and some electrical steel, we can start making some conduit binder. Right on. We'll make 64 of it. Now the beautiful stuff about this conduit binder is, as you cook it up, and we'll just cook it right over here in the EnderIO alloy furnace, it produces 8 conduit, I believe 8, let me look. You get 4, I'm sorry, they cut it in half. Or maybe they didn't, I don't remember. Anyways, you get 4 per binder composite. Makes 8 conduit binders. Okay, so we've already got a full stack of them right here that we're going to be able to use. I don't know what is going on with that particle effect right there. That's really weird. Anyway, we're going to grab these. Alright, now let's head back over here and clear this out. Now we're going to need some servos, right? We've got these servos right here, resonant servo. We've made other servos in the past. This is your basic servo. This is a bit more advanced. This is an electrical servo, or I'm sorry, a reinforced servo. Electrical, what am I saying? There are 5 different types of servos. There's hardened, or regular. There is hardened. There is reinforced, signalum, and then resonant. So for the most part, it's just like all the other thermal expansions, except for that they add one additional tier in the form of signalum, and then we go to resonant. And what we need to make item conduit are resonant. Now I've got a bunch of these sitting right here ready to go. So let's make them. Boop. We get 42 of them. So if we take these, and let's just take a stack of item conduits, and we'll step over here to this box. And we'll try to kind of keep our stuff together. This is EnderIO stuff. Don't ask about the uranium being in there. It's me being silly. 2 servos per, and then some conduit binder. And now, at least I think that's the recipe. Did they change? Did I mess up? Item duct. Item conduit. Yeah, that's what I need. Oh, we have to make them warped item. That's right. Okay. I almost forgot. We need to make these warped item ducts. And for that, we're going to need 1 Enderium ingot per item duct. So, JD made a boo-boo. No big deal. We're going to fix that real quick. Let's go grab some ender pearls. My garden's just about ready to be harvested anyways. Now, I have not been hunting endermen at all. I've been getting all of my ender pearl stock specifically off of these ender lilies. And it's actually worked out quite well. It's kept me with, just enough to keep me doing what I need to do. And yeah, I can't really complain. I could always use more so I could make Enderium in bulk, but I'm pretty happy with it. Alright, so we got enough to make a little bit of Enderium right here. Let's get back downstairs. Okay, so we're going to toss the... Before we put those in, let's put a portable tank on top. And let's put these in and let it start cooking them. Now, this is going to fill up the portable tank with Resonant Ender. And every 4 of those is a bucket. We need 1 bucket per Enderium craft. Now, some of it went in here. That's not good. We'll get it out of there in a second. For now, let's just disable this side. Whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. Now it's all going in. Now, it's not going to fill this up a lot because of how much this can hold, but that's okay. And we'll pull the rest of this out of here in just a second. As soon as it cooks this last one up. Okay, so grab our tank, put our tank on top of this machine now, and set it into empty, and there we go. We've got all 5,000 of our, or all 5 of our buckets if you really want to get technical. Now, to make Enderium, it takes, do I have some over here already? Whoops. We're going to need silver, tin, and platinum. So I've got the silver, so we'll get 4 of those. I've got the tin, we're going to need 8 of those. I need some platinum, and I should have platinum in this chest right here. And so we'll need 5 of these, and we'll need to turn it into grit. So let's go ahead and smash it down. Take this lead out of here. Toss the lead in there for now. There's that. Now I've got some pyrotheum here, and we're actually, there's a couple of ways to do this, but we're actually going to make use of this pyrotheum this time. Grab this and grab this. And let's put all this stuff in here. So I already knew I had 2 of those in, and I already knew I had 4 of those in. I wasn't sure about the platinum, but we got 1 extra platinum dust, no big deal. So let's hook up our, we have a problem. We still have rocket fuel in here. I don't really have a way that I know of to empty this. Let's see, what can I do? Can I right click? Nope. I may have to use the transposer to do this. Let's see if we can pull this out with the transposer. Never tried this. Don't know if this is going to work at all. I would advise making satchels or the RF Tools tablet. I might need to make a new item to do this, because I don't know if you can actually pull out of this. Tell you what, this is just rocket fuel, right? It's okay, we can handle this. We'll just make plastic right quick. Do I have any raw plastic? I do not, but I should have some rubber right here. Cook that up. I'll go ahead and put this down here anyways. Alright. Throw this plastic in there, and let's go ahead and put the plastic sheet back in there. Let it make as many of those as we can. Alright, we need to drain 3,000 more buckets. It looks like we're short on plastic. That's cool. Cook some more up, but we're also going to be a little short on sawdust. So let's get a little bit more. I think we need 16. Should be enough. I think we only need 2. No, that's not going to be enough. I'm crazy. That might be enough. Bam. And give me some of that plastic. There we go. Toss that in there. There we go. So now we got all that out of there. And we got plenty of plastic sheets. We probably won't need to make plastic sheets again. So we need a servo. I've got one right here. So servo's in. And let's put all of our Enderium into the tank. So it's filling up. And at this point we can pull this out. Did we get it all? 5,000, yep. And grab this schematic, and bam, there's our Enderium blend. Now you only have 2 ways you can cook your Enderium blend. You can either go put it into the induction smelter with pyrotheum, which is what we're going to do because it's a lot quicker, or you can go cook it really slowly in this smeltery. You can apparently use this arc furnace, but I don't have one and I've never done it, so we'll have to try that later when I build one. That's from Immersive Engineering. Let's throw this in. And this is going to cook right up. And we will have Enderium, which we have to make so much of it's not even funny. Alright, so with this Enderium, we can now come over here and we can take our item ducts and we'll just take, where are they at? Right here? No, right here. Okay. 6 of these. Wait, those are Redstone Energy ducts too. Where are my item ducts? I had a stack that was not quite full. Or am I just herb derping? Okay, whatever. And 2 of these, and that gives us our Warped Itemducts. Okay. So a couple of Warped Itemducts come over here, substitute those in, and there we go. Now we're getting our Item Conduit. Now Item Conduit is super important for us to be able to push and pull things out. Right now, we're accomplishing it with these regular item ducts and servos. That's not such a big deal. That's not too bad. Why am I griping? I'm not. There's just better ways to do it. And what's going to make them better is, I'll show you. These conduits are very nice and slim and trim and they have a nice little GUI to use. And we can just set them to extract. Nothing else needed. No other pieces. Now, I do need to get my Yeti wrench made so I can reach these ones that are on the bottom like this, but we set this one to extract, and then we just set these to insert. And now these are doing the same thing that those tubes, the item ducts from thermal expansion were already doing with the servos, only with nothing. They just work on their own. That's not that big a deal, right? Okay. Well, let's get to the last item on our to-do list real quick. And that's going to be the painting machine. And this is another EnderIO machine. Right here, painting machine. And this is what we're going to need for it. So let's start off by making that chassis. Chassis is a basic machine frame, 4 fences, 2 capacitors, and a couple aluminum, and that gives us our chassis. And we want to save that. And now we just need some electrical steel, some diamond, and this. And there's a painting machine. Right on. Let's take our painting machine, and for right now, just for speed, I'm going to hook it up right here beside this, and it's going to get power from the things around it. Now, what is special about a painting machine? Well, a painting machine allows you to take things and make this conduit facade, stick it in here, pull these out, and we get 48 of them. Okay, that's cool. What's special about conduit facade? Well, here's what's special about conduit facade. let's put some conduit facade in here. And let's get a piece of tiger wood. Let's throw it right here. The painting machine is going to start to paint it. And when it's done, the facade is going to look like tiger wood. And what's really awesome is I can take it and put it right here. Whoops. As long as I don't shift click like a derp. And the facades generally try to take on the properties of whatever material they were. And there we go. I can now hide all of my conduits. And I can see them by accessing with a wrench. So all of this stuff that's just kind of free floating here on these ugly pipes, I'll be able to actually hide everything now. Whoops. What's even better about it is if we come back over here, let's do some more conduit again. Let's make some Ender Conduit. Okay, I've got a couple of these. So let's take some, where are they? Resonant Fluxduct. Come right back over here to this box. Now this recipe I want to save. The other one I do not. So Resonant Fluxduct. Put 3 of them across here. And get our 2 Signalum conduits. And there we go. We've got some, what am I missing? Oh, I don't have any more actual binding. Run back like a genius. Alright, we're back. Let's select this again. And put these in. And put these in. And that's going to give me my Ender Energy Conduit. Now this only does 20,480. Whereas the conduits we used to, the ducts we used to make this do 32,000. So they do a better job of transferring it. But here's the cool thing about these. And I'm not going to leave this here. I'm just going to do it for demonstration purposes. I can put 2 conduits in the same block. I can put power and item transfer and redstone signal and liquid transfer all in this one block rather than them taking up an entire block. So I can run all of my item conduits for these machines that are going to handle moving items around down here, along with all of the power to them down here, and have nothing at all on this back side any longer. And that's pretty amazing to me. It works really nicely, and I can disable just one and leave the other there. So back here on this wall, where I'm currently running these, I can pop these off, and I can put these on. And then if I want to, I can take the painting machine and hide these like so. And I can still take any kind of conduit. So let's say I want to use some of this Redstone Energy Conduit and hook up to it. I can do so like this. Oops, that's not the right one. I need the pick right here. No. No, you went on incorrectly, sir. And that is now transferring energy in. But these are nice and hidden. These will interface with almost anything. One of the awesome things about item conduits is that item conduits will actually interface, as will item ducts, with IC2 and all kinds of other machines to transfer items in and out, and this is going to help us with our automation and our item storage network as we get ready to do them with moving things around. So we're getting to the point where we're ready to start looking at building warehouses and storing stuff. It's not going to be as powerful as like an applied energistic storage network by any means, but at least we're going to be able to start sorting things out and knowing where all of our stuff is, and I don't have to run around like a madman looking for everything. Furthermore, we can get rid of all of these crazy wires now and run nice clean conduits through the ceilings and back, through the walls and keep them nice and hidden thanks to this painting machine. So that's awesome. That's going to clean up the base. It's going to reduce clutter. We're going to be able to make the workshop a lot more condensed and just better looking. And I think that's about all we have time for. Let's take a look right quick. And we're at about 34 minutes. So yeah, we finally got to a less than 50-minute recording. Yay! It's been forever since I've done that. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Lots of new stuff we're adding to the base. We're finally advancing our technology. We're getting closer and closer to getting back to where I was in Season 1 before the great explosion happened. But hey, we're having fun doing it, and we're doing it differently this time. That's kind of fun. I'm using different stuff, and I'm trying, different methods of doing things. So, as always, guys, if you liked it, like it. If you'd like to see more like it, hit that subscribe button. Either way, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think I'm doing right, what you think I'm doing wrong. Also, there will be a link in the description, possibly even on the screen right now. We'll see. We're talking about starting a public server. However, it will be kind of a whitelist server because we don't want people, griefing. And if you'd be interested in playing on that server, click that link and go fill out the survey. Let us know if you'd like to take part and if you'd be in any way able to help contribute with the upkeep and cost of that server. Not asking for much, but as you know, a server that's open to the public does cost money to run, as you do have to put it on some type of a hosted network. Usually the cost is somewhere between $40 and $120 a month, depending on the size of the server, and we'd like to find out how many of you guys out there would like to play with me, as I know several of you have voiced that in the past. So be watching for that link. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe. I'll see you next time. Be good to one another. Laters.